Today, we're rolling deep into the world of the Rolex Submariner. Get ready for an exciting market update that'll have you on the edge of your seat, I promise. And here's a little secret. I'm not only talking about this as an observer, I'm right there in the trenches with you, searching for my very own Submariner. So, are you dreaming of your next sub? Or perhaps you're eyeing your very first Submariner? We're going full throttle into the world of Rolex's iconic diver's watch. Get ready to soak up all the specs and technical details you absolutely need to know. But hold on to your bezels, folks, because that's only the beginning. I've got two major pieces of information that most videos rarely mention. These nuggets of wisdom could make or break your sub hunting experience. We'll also explore everything from modern references to vintage treasures, uncovering which models offer the best bang for your buck. And for the grand finale, I'll let you in on my personal Submariner journey. Will I patiently wait it out on the authorized dealers list, or is it time to take the plunge and navigate the gray market waters? Trust me, you'll want to lean in for this. Before we even talk about price tag, we need to talk fit. After all, what good is a legendary timepiece if it doesn't sit right on your wrist? We got a handy table here that's basically a sub-size cheat sheet. It shows us the different case sizes Rolex has produced over the years, ranging from the modest 37mm all the way up to a more substantial 41mm. And each size corresponds to a specific reference number. Whether you're into vintage pieces or modern references, this table is your map to finding the perfect fit for your wrist. Now, let's uncover the next important measurement. We're talking about the elusive lug-to-lug. The secret sauce to determining if a sub will sit pretty on your wrist. Check out this table I've compiled for you. We've got lug-to-lug sizes for various Submariner references laid out clear as day. From the 16800 to the latest 2020 model, it's all here in black and white, or I should say green and white. Now, here's a little nugget of wisdom for you. Most subs from the 1980s to the 2010s play it cool with the lug-to-lug measurements ranging from 47.5 to 47.8 millimeters. It's like they found their sweet spot and stuck to it. But the 2020 model, reference 126610, decided to stretch its legs a bit, coming in at a slightly longer 48.1 millimeter. Remember, when it comes to finding your perfect sub, this lug-to-lug measurement is your compass. It's the difference between a watch that feels like it was made for you and one that's, well, not quite shipshape. So keep this info close to your chest as we dive deeper into the world of the classic sub. Let's talk about something that often slips under the radar, the long-term commitment of owning a sub. Let's dive into the service details that'll keep your Rolex ticking smoothly. First off, Rolex recommends servicing your sub every decade. That's right. Every 10 years, you'll need to show your watch some TLC. But here's the kicker. This pampering doesn't come cheap, unfortunately. You're looking at a general service cost range from 650 to 800 euros, or about 700 to 880 in Uncle Sam's currency. For a Submariner specific service, we're talking around 700 euros or $770. That's the price of keeping your sub in top condition. Now, don't think you'll get your watch back in a jiffy. Service durations can range from 4 to, 12 weeks, with an average of 6 weeks in the US. So, you got to be patient, folks. But here's some good news. Rolex throws in a 2-year international warranty on parts and labor. That's some peace of mind right there. And if you're worried about finding a service center, fear not. Rolex has you covered with approximately 900 after-sales service workshops worldwide. That's more locations than your favorite coffee chain. Do keep in mind that everyone has a unique situation. These are only general guidelines. So, it's time to crack the secret Rolex code. Did you ever wonder how to read all these reference numbers? We're going to be talking about them in this video. We're about to dive into the secret language of sub-reference numbers. This is information that most people gloss over, but not us. We're going full James Bond here. First off, Submariner reference numbers typically rock 5 or 6 digits, sometimes with a letter encore. Let's break it down using 126610LV as our example. 126610 is your base model number, while LV is like the cherry on top, indicating special features. Now let's talk prefixes. If you see 16XXXX, you're looking at an older generation model, 114XXX or 116XXX. Those are placeholders, if you didn't get that. That's the previous generation. And if you spot 124XXX or 126XXX, congratulations, you've got your eyes on the current generation. But there's a little bit more. The material indicators are like a secret handshake. 126610 means stainless steel. 126613 is two-tone. 126618 is pure yellow gold luxury, and 126619 is white gold opulence. That's the top premium price. And those special suffixes, they're the seasoning that make each sub unique. LV stands for green bezel, affectionately known as Starbucks or Kermit. LN is for a classic black bezel, and LB means you're diving into the blue. For you vintage lovers out there, keep an eye out for those shorter reference numbers. 5513, what a classic. And 5512 are, yes, classic vintage subs, while 1680 represents early Submariner date models. Remember, this guide is your secret weapon in the world of Submariners. So the next time someone throws a Rolex reference number at you, you're ready to decode it like a pro. So, if you're tired of playing the waiting game with ADs, it's time to explore where the real action happens. I've got some juicy data right here that'll make your Submariner search a whole lot easier. We're talking listing, sales, and sell-through rates across various platforms over the past year. This will guide your effort. Now, here's the kicker. If you're looking for where the deals are closing, eBay is the undisputed champ. With a jaw-dropping 100% sell-through rate, it's clear that when subs hit eBay, they don't stick around for long. It's like watching a magician make watches disappear. But don't overlook other platforms. Carousel, Rolex Forums, and even, yes, Reddit are marketplaces for those coveted timepieces, but do check the seller reputation. Each has its own flavor and community, so you might find your perfect sub in unexpected places. Now, let's dive into the real story behind these Submariner premiums. At first glance, that towering bar of steel might make your eyes pop, but don't let it fool you. The truth is, most steel Submariners are actually inching closer to retail prices these days. We all know that. So why does this chart show such a sky-high premium? Well, it's all about a few select models that are hotter than a summer day in the Sahara. Take a look at that note at the bottom. We're talking about vintage models and limited editions that are driving up the average like crazy. Most modern steel models are becoming more attainable. You'll see that later in the video. But these vintage and limited editions are skewing the average in this chart. It's time to strap on your diving gear because we're about to plunge into the depths of the Submariner market data. Modern references and vintage treasures. We're drawing a line in the sand at the year 2000. Everything before, that's our vintage category, steeped in history and collector's dreams. Everything after, those are our modern references packed with cutting-edge Rolex tech. Now, feast your eyes on this chart of modern Submariner references. This data comes from Chrono24, and it does tell a story. At the very top, we've got the 126610 making waves with a staggering 1,460 listings. It's like the great white shark of the Submariner world. You can't miss it. On the other end of our spectrum, we find the 11661LN, a rare fish indeed with only 61 listings. Understanding this listing volume is absolutely crucial when you're on the hunt for your perfect sub. It's not merely about reference numbers or price tags, it's about market liquidity. That's important. A high number of listings means you're diving into a bustling market. It's like a coral reef is teeming with Submariners. Fewer listings, you might be dealing with a rare specimen, but it could be trickier to catch. This data is your compass, giving you a sense of how easily you might buy or sell a particular reference. More listings often mean more options and potentially more competitive prices. Fewer listings obviously mean it's going to take patience or lightning fast reflexes when your desired model surfaces. Now, let's take a quick plunge into the vintage Submariner market data. At the crest of our vintage wave, we've got the 1680 model riding high with 1,387 listings. It's followed closely by the 16610 boasting 1,369 listings. These two are clearly the big fishes in the vintage sub-market. Now, diving into the ocean floor, at the bottom, we find the truly iconic 6538 model with only 21 listings. That is a rare catch. This is the kind of timepiece that makes collectors' heart race. We know why. Sean Connery. The stark contrast between these top and bottom listings tell us a lot about the vintage Submariner landscape. The 1680 and the 16610, they're like popular diving spots. Plenty of action, lots of options. But that 6538, wow. Now let's sail into more modern waters and drop anchor on something that might surprise you. Affordable Rolex Submariner. Yes, you heard that right. While affordable and Rolex might seem like they're from different planets, there are actually some modern steel subs that won't require you to sell your yacht to afford them. Let's dive into this data of relatively budget-friendly beauties. We've got the 114060 from 2012 swimming in at a cool $9,500. This no-date sub is the most wallet-friendly option in our modern steel lineup. It's like finding a pearl in an oyster, a true Rolex experience without the eye-watering price tag. Next, we've got the 116610 from 2010, which comes in at $10,700. Yeah, it's a slight bump up, but you're getting that classic date function that many sub enthusiasts crave. Think of it as the middle ground in our affordable sub trio. And finally, we've got the new kid on the block, the one that I want. The 124060 from 2020, priced at $11,250. It's the priciest of our affordable bunch, but remember, you're getting the latest and greatest Rolex techs with that model. They offer that iconic Submariner style and Rolex quality, all while keeping your budget somewhat afloat. Now, let's shift gears and dive into the sweet spot between vintage charm and modern appeal. We're talking about the classic Submariner models that won't make your wallet run for cover. Meet the dynamic duo of affordable classics. These beauties are like the perfect middle ground. Not quite vintage, not quite modern, but very desirable. First up, we've got the 16610 from 1987, coming in at a respectable $8,400. Classic, charismatic, and still turning heads after all these years. It's got that date function that many people like, all wrapped up in a package that screams 80s cool. Swimming right alongside it is the 14060 from 1990 or the 14060M, if that's your choice, priced at a slightly more wallet-friendly $8,000. Think of this as the Pierce Brosnans of subs, a bit younger, sleeker, but still packing that classic Submariner punch. It's a no-date model, perfect for those who prefer a cleaner dial. These models are positioned perfectly for those who want a taste of Submariner history without diving into the deep end of vintage collecting. It's the best of both worlds. Classic style, moderate pricing, and that unmistakable Submariner DNA. When it comes to modern Rolex Submariner, savvy collectors know it's not only about the price tag, it's about finding the best value. And wow, do we have some gems to discuss from the 2020 lineup. The standout here is undoubtedly the 126619LB. This white gold beauty is offering an eye-popping 26% discount off retail. In the world of Rolex, that's practically unheard of. It's the kind of deal that makes watch enthusiasts do a double take. Not far behind is the 126618L, boasting a substantial 13% discount. This yellow gold stunner is suddenly within reach for those who've been eyeing it from afar. It's a golden opportunity, if you catch my meaning. The 126613LN comes in with a more modest 2% discount. While it might not seem like much, any discount on a current Rolex sub is noteworthy. It's small but welcome break for those set on this particular reference. Interestingly, the 126613LB is the only model showing a premium, albeit a tiny 1% over retail. In today's market, that's practically at cost. It's a testament to the enduring appeal of this two-tone classic. These figures tell us something crucial about the current Submariner market. The era of inflated premiums across the board is waning. We're seeing a shift toward a more balanced market, good news, where astute buyers can find genuine value even on the latest models. Now, let's turn back the clock and explore the world of vintage Submariners. These timepieces aren't merely watches, they're portals to horological history, each with its own story to tell. The chart in front of us showcases 3 models that offer a taste of vintage Rolex without requiring a king's ransom. At the forefront is the 16800 from 1979, coming in at a mere $9,400. This model represents a pivotal moment in the Submariner history, bridging the gap between the classic and modern eras with its introduction of the quick set date feature. Next up, we have the 1680 from 1987, priced at only $9,500. But don't let the similar reference number fool you. This model, often called the 000, marks a significant transition in Rolex's production. It was the first Submariner to use 904L steel, the alloy that would become a Rolex hallmark. Rounding out our trio is the 16803 from 1983, carrying a price tag of $9,543. This model stands out not merely for its age, but for its material composition. While the others are pure steel, the 16803 flaunts a gold and steel combination, offering a touch of luxury to the tool watch aesthetic. What's remarkable here is the pricing consistency across these models. Despite their different years and materials, they're all hovering around the $9,500 mark. This suggests a sweet spot in the vintage sub-market, where history and affordability intersect. For collectors, these models offer an enticing proposition. They're old enough to carry the charm and character of vintage pieces, yet recent enough to often be in good condition. Each watch comes with decades of history, potential patina, and the unique quirks that make vintage timepieces so captivating. Now, we're entering the realm of horological royalty. They're the crown jewels of Rolex collecting, each commanding a premium that will make even seasoned collectors catch their breath. Leading the pack is the 6536 from 1955, sporting an eye-watering 623% premium. Sean Connery would be proud. This is more than a watch. It's a time capsule from the early days of the Submariner. It represents the genesis of what would become an iconic design, making it a holy grail for serious collectors. Following closely is the 1680 from 1967 with a 463% premium. This model marked a significant milestone in sub history as the first to feature a date complication. It's a pivotal piece that bridges the gap between early tool watches and the more versatile timepieces we know today. Rounding out the trio is the 5513 from 1962, commanding a 336% premium. This model enjoyed one of the longest production runs in Submariner history, making it a cornerstone of many vintage collections. Its enduring design and variations over its lifespan make it a fascinating study for enthusiasts. So, they're not for the faint of heart or light of wallet, to be honest, but for those who understand and appreciate their significance. They represent the ultimate in Rolex Submariner collecting. Now, let's wrap up our Submariner journey with some practical advice tailored to different types of watch enthusiasts. Daily wear enthusiasts should gravitate toward the standard models. The 126610 offers the best combination of availability and value. With 1,460 listings, and a relatively modest price of $12,970. It's the most accessible option for those who want to sport a sub on their wrist regularly. Collectors seeking rare finds should set their sights on the white gold model, with merely 17 listings and a price tag of $131,300. It's the unicorn of modern sub. Vintage models, particularly those we discussed earlier with high premiums, also fall into this category of coveted collector's pieces. For those drawn to unique aesthetics with a touch of exclusivity, the Hulk and Kermit models strike an appealing balance. They offer distinctive looks and moderate rarity without reaching the stratospheric prices of the white gold version. So, after diving deep into the ocean of Submariner data, analyzing premiums, and thinking about the frustrations of the Rolex waitlist, here's my personal game plan. Yes, I'm sticking to the AD waitlist for now. But let's get real. My patience has an expiration date. It won't last forever. With premiums dropping faster than a lead weight, it's becoming a game of horological chicken. How long can I hold out before I crack and start frantically refreshing Chrono 24 listings? You'll see a video on that, that's for sure. But hey, that's the beauty of this ultimate Submariner buying guide. Whether you're a weightless warrior, a vintage virtuoso, or a modern reference hunter, you're now armed with the knowledge to navigate the market of Submariner collecting. Use this guide wisely and may it lead you to your dream sub. See you in the next video.